Well, hi guys and gals, it's me George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I need to put a drive belt on this mower, and to do it I'm going to hang it from this beam. One of the main reasons that I built this roof on here was I wanted this frame set up so that I could hang off of this beam to raise mowers up and stuff like that. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. But like anything else, sometimes it takes longer getting ready to do a project than it does to actually do the project. Start off, I had to put a new end on this extension cord here. Yep, so it's ready to go. And because I had to weld a couple of bolts on the inside of this unit here that's going to hang over the top of that beam, I got to cut a slot so that those bolts will slide down in there, because I made this piece of box tubing that I cut one side out of, I made so it would just slide down over that, just hang in there. And then those bolts are so I can bolt my electric winch on there. Last one I did something like this, I used come along, and that is extremely inefficient. Not to mention time consuming and a pain. So I'm going to take my router right here, and I'm going to route down here, put a slot in wide enough for them bolts to slide into. I got to measure the spacing on these bolts. See that? And I need to know, see this is why I need this to cut a slot, because those bolt heads stick out. So they are at 7 inches. They're right dead set in the middle. So, and the slot needs to be, oh, 3/4 of an inch wide. The only reason they're welded in there is so that I don't have to use a wrench on the inside. If I get this to hold it the way you could see it, there you go. I don't have to try and hold a wrench up in there. It just slide this down over and the nuts just bolt on. So let me cut that slot. It will have no effect on the strength of the beam. The strength of the beam is the vertical measurement. Now let's try this again. This is a 4x6, so I made it, instead of being 3.5 thick, it's probably 3 inches thick. And there we go, right in place. Now I can bolt my winch right onto there. That's the next step. Then we got to figure out how to set up our battery to run the winch. Hold on to your hats. Okay. Now we're going to take our winch up. And we're going to set it in place. Just like that. I'm using locking nuts for an obvious reason, I think. Don't want them coming loose, do we? strange thing is this bracket here that's on my winch bolts onto a bracket that has a roller on it, and the roller bracket of course is at a little bit of an angle, and it had 5/8 bolts in it. Well, the bolts that held this winch onto that bracket are only 5/16. So obviously, I'm putting a larger washer on here. Just to spread out the goodwill a little bit more. There we go. We don't need the roller because this is just a straight shot down. So now I gotta figure out where to put my battery and see if my cables are long enough. And this is a remote control winch setup that I'm using. So, okay,
Next
so
step.
you can see it better than I can because of the way the lighting is. I have my connector here, and this is only a temporary setup, so I just have my battery laying up in there. That wouldn't be a permanent thing, having it laying partially on its side, but it's only for a short period of time, you know what I'm saying? So now the question is, will it work? Oh yeah. Now we're just going to push the lawnmower in under there. See, I can't hardly see because the way the lighting is out here. There's outdoors and a lot of backlighting and stuff. Yeah. Well, let me get that mower pushed in here and we'll get it hooked up and we'll raise this puppy up. And we're going to do what this is all about. I'm standing back, changing the drive belt. I'm going to be working underneath this thing, so I got to double check and make sure my hook is in there good. Oh yeah. Okay, that puppy's actually sitting on its back end. I could lift the whole thing up if I wanted to. I don't want to. All I want to do is change the belt. So let me get set up with some tools and we'll get started on changing the belt. Hold on to your hat. It did the job and I didn't even have to work hard at it, like pumping the come along. And the easiest part is when it comes down, you push a button and it comes back down again. Hold on to your hats, 'cause here we go. Good news. I don't have to replace the belt. It looks fine up in there. I had thought I had seen some shredding going on. But this belt looks just fine and dandy. Let me twist it here. Yeah, that looks fine. What had happened, it had got kicked off of this idler right here. And my sons were using this tractor for hauling the crushed stone for the landscaping they were doing, and it was so heavy that it bent my wheelbarrow, not my wheelbarrow, bent my trailer up, blew out the tires. I mean, blew them out. So I'm thinking that it, just the way they were pulling on it, it kicked that belt off of that one idler. So we're going to let her We don't need to replace the belt, and that's okay by me. I have a belt ready for whenever I need to. I have 3 of these Husqvarna mowers, and they're all basically the same. Some have, 2 of them have Briggs & Stratton motors, and one has a Kohler motor in it. So yeah, so let's lower this puppy down. Ain't no need of leaving it hanging up there, you know. Right. Well, that's okay. I'm happy to have this set up so that I can easily do this again. Ouch! Another time. Wow. Sharp piece on the table there. Here it is, all up in place. So now we have the setup all set to go for the next time we need it. Which, like I said, that was the whole reason I put this beam set up in here. And I have used it before, but with a come-along, and this was a whole lot easier than with a come-along. It takes forever jacking it up, and then you know how come-alongs, you can only release them a couple of teeth at a time coming down. So this is wonderful. So now let me jump on this thing and make sure it still works. Take it out of the push mode, you know. Yeah, it won't go anywhere with that lever pulled out. Try it again. Still something going on. Okay, gonna have to raise it up, do some more inspection. Well, I think I found the problem. See this bracket right here? It was down underneath here, so that this was swinging back and forth. This is your clutch for your mower deck, and it should have been put in to this slot over here. Now maybe you can see where that comes through. right here, there's a slot in the bracket right there. And that's what's supposed to hold this in place. And then you put this bolt through here. And that's what keeps this from sliding back and forth once it's bolted down. See, now it can't swing back and forth. And I think that was having an effect on it. And for whatever reason, that mower belt popped out of this idler down here again. This one right here. And these all turn nicely. I've checked them all. So we're going to lower it down again, see what happens. Hold on to your hats. Okay, let's try this again. See if it'll stay on and go this time. So she's working again, and now I'm just going to put the mower deck back on, put the hood on. Thanks again for following along. Bye for now.